We all have to use a computer for work, for email, for social media, but unfortunately, using a computer can leave you victim to viruses and security threats.
Many of us know how to search the internet for a recipe or a story, but how many of us know how to protect our computers from today's most common spyware and viruses? Here to help is the author of Escaping Delete, a CEO in the Black Hole, Jon Bellman. Jon, good morning. Thank you so much for being here today.
Good morning. Yes. Thank you very much for having me.
Of course, quickly tell us, what is spyware and why is it scary?
Spyware is a kind of malware. Malware is any badware. It could be a virus, but ransomware or spyware. And what spyware is a bad guy watching what you're doing, probably from far away. And it got there because you downloaded something, most likely that was attached to an email that looked appealing.
Okay, so don't open those weird emails. Yeah.
Don't open
emails. Right.
And so you said, you tell us to avoid complexity. What do you mean by that? You said stay lean and current and avoid complexity.
Right.
Is one of your tips, I believe.
So, well, the first thing about staying current is anytime Apple or Microsoft wants to feed you an update, it's probably good for you to click on and download it because it keeps you secure and current. But go ahead.
How do I know that's Apple asking me for the update, though?
That is a great question. First of all, you never totally know, but if it looks like something that you've seen before, it's probably okay. Generally, these tips are all about the 80-20 approach. In other words, what are the 80% of things that you can do that take 20% of the effort that will probably work? If somebody really is intent on attacking you, Eugene, they're going to get into your passwords. They're going to do what they want to your computer. But for most of us, it's just important to be prudent. How do we be fit? So in terms of avoiding complexity, well, you think about it, maybe you bought an iPhone 6 or an iPhone 7, but you have your iPhone 5 still attached. You gave it to your kid. Your kid has your old iPad. Some of these older devices are still able to access your current information.
Oh, wow.
So one great tip is to trim the fat. Get rid of things that you're not using. Make sure that there's no open windows into what you're doing. Take a hammer to that old device. You heard about it on TV last year. It's not a bad idea.
Okay, that's good advice. Your second piece of advice, don't bother to back up unless you can restore.
Right. Now, not that many people back up. Backing up, we all know, is very important.
Yes.
But nothing is more important than being able to restore from the backup. Let's say you have photos on Apple Photo and you're storing them in the cloud and something happens to your computer. Well, how do you know that those photos are actually out there? Unless you test the restore process, then you're not. The fact that you backed up really doesn't matter. Because if you can't get your money out of the bank, what was the point of putting it in there in the first place?
Good point.
Now, you just mentioned the cloud, okay?
Right.
Is the cloud a safe place to do some backup? Will that protect me, and is that a good idea?
Well, every cloud vendor will tell you that it's a great idea.
Yes.
And they always advertise these incredible reliability rates, 99.9999%.
Yes, sir.
But what happens when it doesn't work for you? You know, those high numbers provide very little solace or comfort. So the cloud is actually reliable. But I think it's a good idea, back up in the cloud, restore from the cloud, but also back up to a USB drive at home, save it to an old device and take it off the internet so that if there's some attack that hits the internet broadly, you're protected.
Your last piece of advice, Jon, give yourself a break. What do you mean by that?
You got to stay cool about these things, guys, because there's only so much you can do. Like we talked about, an intent bad guy is going to wreak havoc. And just wear your seatbelt, drive the speed limit, and don't stress about it.
Good advice,
okay,
right?
Right.
For more from Jon, check out his website. It's jonbellman.com, jonbellman.com. You can also go there to order a copy of his book, Escaping Delete. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, guys. It was great.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right.